Hi, I'm Natalie, and I am a co-host in Collective Mind, and I'm not very alone in the front. Currently, there are a bunch of other alters who are kind of around close by, but I don't think they're going to influence me that much in a way that would confuse me for this personality test, so I'm going to try to finally do my personality test video. This is the same one that we've done before, so I'm gonna go from there. I'm gonna actually fully disagree about regularly making new friends. I'm not that social. I've never really been that social. That was Anna's part of hosting in childhood. She might be around too. There's a lot of people around right now. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. I'm gonna agree on that. I'm trying to decide between these two. And I think I'm getting stuck on the word random. They don't feel random to me, but they might seem random to other people, so I'll fully agree on that. Seeing other people cry can easily make me feel like I want to cry too. This is tricky mostly because there are other situations not about crying where I would feel that way. Like being around anxious people can make me anxious. And I don't know if that's what they're going for, and it's probably not like specifically about crying. But I feel like the situations where I would respond that way would be outliers. So I'm gonna small disagree. Often make a backup plan for a backup plan, yes. Stay calm even under a lot of pressure. Pressure, kind of, but not a lot of other situations. So small agree, I guess. If the emphasis is on pressure, but not as much if the emphasis is on calm, I don't know. Charlie wants to join me. I don't know if she'll poke her head or her tongue back into camera frame at any point, but she's in my lap. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people. Absolutely. I would actively avoid introducing myself to new people, even if the people I was with, like, wanted me to. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another? I'm getting a lot of input about the various things that it could mean. I think I'm gonna say medium agree. I don't like stopping something that I'm in the middle of. And I don't even like starting something if I know I won't be able to finish it right then. Which is one of the things that's really hard with our fairly new, like, physical limitations with our physical disability now. Like, I can't just decide I'm gonna go clean the whole apartment, you know? So yeah, I'll medium agree on that. Very sentimental. I'm possessive about my things. And I get very attached to things that feel like it's less about the things and more about, like, it's things like books, but it's about, like, the story and the characters and not as much like the object of the book. We always feel like, however we interpret any of these, that we could easily be going, like, the totally wrong direction of what they're actually trying to ask us about. I guess medium agree. Organizing tools, absolutely. I would spend all of my time doing that. I'm the kind of person who, even as a like fairly young kid, I wanted to be making lists and schedules and things like that. Like, just to do them. Like, I would make a schedule that I was going to stick to for the whole summer, and then I would not quite stick to the schedule the next day, so I would make a new schedule because clearly the schedule wasn't working, and I was really excited about the opportunity to make another schedule. When a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge, yes. Comfortable just walking up to someone? No. Not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of creative works. Medium disagree. I could be pretty stressed in that kind of a conversation, depending on like the mood overall. And I can be pretty stubborn in my interpretations sometimes. But in the right context, I would enjoy it. Essentially, more inclined to follow my head than my heart. I'm gonna medium agree instead of all the way agreeing, mostly because of like anxiety related things are when I'm gonna follow feelings more so sometimes. But even that, I prefer to like plan what I would do in that situation ahead of time so that I don't even have to make the decision when I'm really anxious, you know? Usually prefer just doing what you feel like instead of planning a particular daily routine. Strong disagree. I would plan a pretty rigid routine if I were alone in the system. And the system, as well as our like physical disability and all kinds of things, makes that not possible. But even if I wanted some flexibility built into it, it would be a very structured flexibility. Like, in this period of time, under these circumstances, I would do this thing, but if I have a migraine, I would do this thing instead, and if this, then I would do that thing instead, you know? I'd want to basically write the algorithm to make all my decisions for me, you know? Really worry about whether I make a good impression on people. I don't necessarily care about the impression because I don't want to be in the social situation in the first place. But it's not about like whether or not I'm good at it. It's about just not wanting it at all. So medium agree, I guess. No group activities, please. Books and movies that make me come up with my own interpretation. I'm gonna small disagree. I don't like that much freedom. Happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. No? I might actually medium disagree on that. I can be happy for other people's accomplishments, but I've spent a lot of time, because of being in a system and not being the main host, I've spent a lot of time not getting credit for my accomplishments. So I think I prefer my own to an extent for that reason. You are interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. Medium agree, because difficult to choose, absolutely, but not necessarily because of the number of things, just because I'm bad at making decisions. I find it very stressful. Prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. In pretty select situations. But is the emphasis on worry, or is the emphasis on like pessimism, because I worry equally about things being like good, neutral, or bad. I worry ahead of time about how I would handle any version of any scenario. So it's not just that I'm trying to like prepare myself for if something bad happens. I'm trying to prepare myself for if something good happens, or for if anything else happens, or if nothing happens. So like medium agree, I guess. Avoid leadership roles. Yes, but not quite all the way yes. Because I would take a leadership role in some situations to avoid other things that I find more uncomfortable than that. Like to stop someone else from putting me in a position that I don't want to be in. Definitely not artistic. In a medium disagree. Because I like some like design related stuff. If you've seen my Meet the Alters video, I talked about how much I liked watching like HGTV and stuff like that. And I liked interior design and that kind of thing. Which is artistic in like a broader sense than the way we normally think of the term, I guess. I think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings. I'm a hypocrite about this because I both believe that like people generally need input from both rationality and feelings in order to like function, and that both play like an essential role. But I also believe that any decision that I make, like in the moment, based even the tiniest bit on feelings, is guaranteed to like be a disaster. So I'll medium agree, I guess. Prefer to do your chores before, yes. Enjoy watching people argue a little bit. I also find it very stressful though. Tend to avoid drawing attention to myself, absolutely. Mood can change very quickly. In like the trigger sense, like if my OCD gets triggered, but not that much outside of that, I would say. So I'm gonna go small disagree. Lose patience with people who, yes. I really like efficiency, and I get very stressed and frustrated with people who are not, especially people in the system who are not following my plan. And I would get frustrated like with coworkers and stuff when we were working before. Often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Talking about my personality and not about like physical ability, I would never do things at the last possible moment. So I'm gonna full disagree. Because this isn't about my physical ability, this is about my personality. You've always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. No. Like, I'm not utterly uninterested, but I don't really think about it. Usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. No. I want to be by myself. I want to be alone with a book or with an audiobook and a knitting project or that type of thing. Bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. Maybe a little bit. Easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different. Maybe a small disagree. I don't know. Like, I don't really have an explanation for it. I guess that's just my instinct. Usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. Yeah. But in practice, for me, it manifests more as like agonizing about the decision starting as early as possible, more so than postponing it. So, like, as soon as I know that I'm gonna need to make a decision next Tuesday or something, I'm gonna be agonizing about it that whole time, but I wouldn't push the decision off until Wednesday, so I guess I'll do like medium agree. Rarely second guess, that's funny. Long and exhausting week, lively social event. Enjoy going to art museums. If some of it had more of like an architectural focus, I think I would enjoy it more. So maybe medium. Because it would be fairly quiet. Like it'd be a very controlled environment for the most part. As far as things around other people go, it wouldn't be that bad. I often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. I think I'm neutral at that, but I also think it's very possible that I'm less good at it than I think I am because I don't have a whole lot of practice. So I'll small agree, I guess. I like to have a to-do list, yes. Rarely feel insecure. Small disagree. Avoid making phone calls, absolutely. Often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from my own. I don't spend a lot of time doing that. Unless I were, like, prompted to, you know? Like if someone asks me to try to see their side of something, or if I had, like, an assignment to try to, like, talk about something from a different perspective. In my social circle, I don't really have a social circle. Often the one who contacts, no. If plans are interrupted, top priority is to get back on track, yes. Still bothered by mistakes I made a long time ago. I don't really have space for that because I'm spending so much time worrying about mistakes I could make tomorrow. So I'm gonna just small agree. Rarely contemplate reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Medium agree. I read it backwards, or processed it backwards first in my head. Your emotions control you more than you control them. My intentions would be all the way over here, but in practice I think I'm probably here at small agree. Take great care not to make people look bad even when it is completely their fault. I know how to do that because Michael taught me. And assuming I'm around the people anyway, I would do that. Somewhat. But not as much anymore as I would then. I'm gonna small disagree. Because I feel like when I'm thinking for myself and not doing what I think Michael would have wanted me to do, my instinct isn't to do that as much. Personal work style is spontaneous. No. Someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed. I don't think about what people think about me. So over there, I guess. You would love a job that requires you to work alone, yes. Believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. No. More drawn to places with busy, no. Not even close. Know at first glance how someone is feeling, probably not. Often feel overwhelmed. I'm gonna full agree on that. Complete things methodically without skipping over steps for sure. Intrigued by things, oops, labeled as controversial. A little bit. Pass along a good opportunity if I thought someone else needed it more. Medium disagree. Struggle with deadlines. Okay. If it's just me, ignoring the rest of the system and ignoring physical disability, then I would not struggle with deadlines. I would struggle the opposite way to some extent. Like I would already be agonizing over the paper that's due in 2 months. We're not even in school anymore, but that's the first thing that came to mind. Confident that things will work out for me. I don't feel confident in any prediction about the future. I'm a girl. Architect. Interesting. Imaginative and strategic thinkers with a plan for everything. That sounds like me. 100% introverted. Yeah. This was very, very close. Interesting. I do focus on hidden meanings and distant possibilities. I am curious. I can see why that's so split. Thinking over feeling makes sense for me. Judging would be decisive, thorough, highly organized. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense for that to be the next highest one for me for sure. Turbulent over assertive also makes sense. So, okay. INTJ. So I'll look at this a little bit, and then out of curiosity, I'm going to look at what it would have been if it was the one that was like almost 50-50 if it had been observant instead. So that's, I think it's the N. If the N was the other one, because that's thinking, and yeah. So let's get this. One of the rarest personality types, okay. Seeing right through phoniness and hypocrisy. I don't know. My mind is never at rest, I'll give it that. Question everything, yes. That's true. I definitely want things that I do to actually work, not just to be like an interesting idea. I want it to be practically applicable. Definitely very independent. Definitely thirst for knowledge. Not known for being warm and fuzzy is fair. Definitely over politeness and pleasantries. Fictional villains are modeled after it. Oh boy. Yeah, let's look at strengths and weaknesses. I feel like that one's often very helpful. Rational, sure. Informed, okay. Independent for sure. Determined, yeah. Curious, yes. Original. I feel weird claiming to be original. Arrogant? I'm not that self-assured. Dismissive of emotions in myself yes, not as much in other people, and less so with time. Overly critical, yes. Combative to an extent. Socially clueless is fine. I guess that's fair. But let's look at, so if I were the other one, TJ. Okay. ISTJ. Okay. I feel like we've looked at both of these before, but it's so long since we did any of the other videos that I don't remember who else had these. I should keep a list somewhere. Integrity. Okay. This part I agree with. Honest and direct. Strong-willed, yes. Very responsible, yeah. Calm, but practical, yes. Create and enforce order, yes. Jack of all trades. I could kind of see either way. Stubborn for sure. Insensitive can be. By the book, yes. But sometimes I write a different book than what a lot of other people might be going by, but I'm still going to follow it very closely. I can be judgmental at times. Often unreasonably blame themselves. I think this one might be closer. Although I like the name of the other one better. So, do with that what you will. I think we should make a list of what everybody's results have been so far so that we can compare them easier. Because if I had to guess, if mine lined up really closely with somebody's, it was probably Jaden's. Of the people who have done it so far, I think I'm the most similar to Jaden. But yeah, those are my results. Thank you for watching this video, and let me know what you think of my results. If you think one of them seems to fit closer than the others based on my descriptions of myself, and feel free to remind us if any of them lined up with one that somebody else already got in our earlier videos. And please suggest other video ideas that you want to see us do. We could always use those suggestions, and I'm sure not all of them will always be a good fit, but even if the original idea isn't a perfect fit for our channel and our system, it might help us think of something that would be a better fit for us to do. Make sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell, and check out our YouTube memberships if you're interested. It is currently our cheapest subscription thing, and it still gets you some cool perks like exclusive emotes that you can use on our live streams and things like that. And you stand out in the chat and in comments and all that stuff too. And all of those things are just below the video, all those buttons, and then further down in the description we have all the links to our Patreon and our Etsy and our Discord and our wish list. And I think that's most of it. And those are all good things to check out too if you're interested. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, so we'll put some other videos and playlists and things on the screen for you to watch if they look interesting, or if you missed them, or if you forgot about them and want to rewatch them, or any of those things. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!